Hello. I'm slowly setting all the things up. The chat worked. I turned it on and it worked, and now it's black again. It just stopped. I'm not gonna sweat it right now though. Lenny already gifting subs. Oh, thank you, Lenny. The first thing I'm going to do is angle the camera a little further from that door. That thing's going crazy. There you go. Off to the side, I'm setting up the library just because so much of what we're dealing with is allegedly pretty old. And yeah, I've got the old glam on today. I'll keep it the same for the MSQ. So you're actually talking a bit in the Discord before this. Because there's so much old 12 lore. They were supposed to be such a big part of 1.0. And I'm not actually sure how much of it's going to be relevant. Like, we've had that problem in ENDWALKER, is we do all of this prep work and we're not sure what counts for what. So I thought it would be nice to at least make sure I have the library on hand and working, and I can search for anything I want to. We tested it out on this extremely old mention of, like, the Keeper of the Seven Hells, the Black Warden. One mention ever, 1.0 from Gaius. Never again. Nothing about it ever again. But if I rename these two things, it should be good to go. Do a quick search for the 12. See how long that takes to populate. We've got like everything that's ever been said copy pasted into searchable files on my computer. I'll go ahead and tell you, Moose, these quests do not mention the Black Warden. I'm not surprised. Nope, not even a little bit. Maybe at some point, one of the NPCs in the new main scenario will refer to our new friend in the Stinger as the Black Warden and just make Rockle and my head explode. Our new friend with the Archfiends there. Still loading. Oh, thank you for the follow, Val. Once I know this is loaded in, we'll fire it up. I don't know how much there's going to be for us to like live translate on the fly, but if there's anything that's like really super ambiguous, I'll make a note of it and we'll pull it up in all 4 languages and see what it says. Just because this is, again, it's such old lore. 1,421 matches for the 12 in the files I've saved. Awesome, that's a lot. But it works. Let's unlock a quest, see what happens. I am on Primal Data Center. And if anybody is crazy enough to want to die with me when I know nothing about this, no mechanics, no nothing, that may be your mistake to make. It feels fitting to bring Rambros in on this. He first showed up in 1.0. And I didn't notice his Archon tattoo until probably 2.3, 2.4. Yeah, where is Rambros' partner? And yes, technically, loremongers are supposed to, I shouldn't say supposed to, but we tend to affiliate with some form of void scent as an homage to the lore team. The localization teams have all chosen to be void scent because they are from elsewhere. That's like the big running joke, is that they're from elsewhere, so they're going to be all void scent avatars. I think it might have been Kochi's idea. What are all these quests? There are new quests. Oh, that's old. I actually have I used to have a tradition of when I teleported in somewhere, I would look at the map and clean up any quests that weren't done. Thank you for the cheer. sub. Am I pronouncing it right, Kwan? The Phantom Realm. Oh, a lesser known legend. Uh-oh. What is going on over there? I'm trying to read and my whole thing is just subs. What have you done? Thank you. We are still trying to figure out what to do with some of the stuff for, like, subs, emotes, all that kind of stuff. So if you have any suggestions about emotes to add, who I can commission to make emotes, what they should be emotes of, what we can spend grapes on, that's one of the things that we want to set up. Please join the Discord and throw them into the suggestions box. And now I have to go back for a second because there was questions in the midst of all of these amazing things. Okay, first, was the Phantom Realm ever mentioned before? Not that I know, but I'm gonna go do a quick check for that. I don't believe it ever was. This seems entirely new. But the way they explained it actually reminds me of a 1.0 legend about Silde, because that's like the way they're describing it is exactly how this mirage of Silde used to work. You could see it from afar across the desert, but then we later found out that it had to be an illusion because Ul'dah moved to where Silde used to be. And I think that was just part of the retcon. Like, you used to look far in the distance from Ul'dah, and you could see another Ul'dah-looking city. In the area. Is this baby Oppo part of my thing? Supposed to individually thank people for things during a hype train. They all like fly by. Thank you, Axel. The one who discovered the Phantom Realm. So yeah, no, not. They are playing it up like something that's supposed to be very old, but something they just invented last week. While he's talking just for fun, I'll search 1.23 for Phantom Realm. No, 0 matches. Didn't you guys say I have to dunk on the Scions every chance I get? We're finally at Silver Tier, but is this the presence? Get the big monitor, they said. It'll be so nice, they said. Every time I go through screens, I feel like Louisois at the end of the era, just... The boom follows. Oh no, it's so bright it's eating my face again, isn't it? Hold on. Oh, hey, Hez. Good to see you. Lenny, you can't give every single person a sub. You're gonna run out. This place has interesting architecture. So far, they've only ever used these swirlies in association with the ancients, so I'm already a little weirded out. But we got the Greek stuff, which is good. If anybody has not been playing since the deepest regions of 1.0, they actually had a I don't know what you'd call it, like a kind of an expo press conference kind of thing. Like, and they got together and started showing off like what the game was and what it was going to be. And one of the very first things they said was that this, like, Eorzea was going to be based on the status of ancient Greece in the lead up to the Persian invasion. So you've got all these city-states that had this history of warring with one another, and they were competitors with one another, and then this big foreign force is going to invade, and it's going to cause them all to unite. And they took the Persian Empire and made them look more like Rome, but it was supposed to kind of play the role of the Persians coming in. So from the very first conceptual day, Eorzea was supposed to be based on ancient Greece. And Limsa Lominsa was the first city they designed, and it came looking out a little like Santorini, and you had like the Thalos and Perikos sea serpents going on. So like from the very beginning, it's supposed to have had a deeper Greek connection, but we're only seeing it fully manifest now. And I love that they're using it in association with the stuff with the 12. And yeah, my lighting situation is not where it should be. I haven't streamed since the clock change, so I need to recalibrate where we're at with the green behind me. Because I have a white light over here, but then I'm trying to eliminate the white light bouncing off the green, and I am deeply melanin challenged. So it often like also deletes the white coming off of my face. So we're gonna need to rebalance that. Alright, let's take too deep of a look around. Vantage point. This is one of the quest thingies. Okay. Okay, so we've got like a floating continent style thing above Mordona that isn't visible from the ground. And the Mughals have this legend that they once served the 12 in the sky. And I think we were supposed to, you know, connect the floating continent of 3.0 back to that because we met the Mughals there. They remembered this history. And I think a lot of people had various theories about what it meant that they remembered it in the age of the landlords. So we've got individual spinny thingies, enigmatic structures. How many we got? We only got 6 of these, so 1 for each of the elements, not 1 for each of the gods. Same as the heavens. And don't have a thing up there. Let's check this first. Nothing too familiar here. Cool. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Ah! Cool. So you got 6. And then 6. Good way to use your numerology in the basic architecture guide. Ooh. I like that. How many god rays we got coming out of the sky? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. More than 12. When it's Phantom Realm housing. Somebody ask Yoshida that. He'll have a stroke. Please try Ishgard housing first. Assuming you don't roll 0 on the lottery. Graha, no. Did you see that? Hold on. This architecture is unlike anything seen in Eorzea. No, that's not true. We have got plenty of circles and domes, and especially these spirally things. No, Graha, no. Bad historian. Mysterious monument. I don't know. It's kind of like an aetherite. Can't you just call it an aetherite? A tune. What? At least try to attune to it, bro. In Moradona, and yet we are not, as if displaced from the world, if only slightly. The deepest lore on the 12 was originally that they lived among us in the first astral era, and then left in the first umbral era. and they withdrew somewhere to create the heavens. And we never knew where that was, but supposedly it brought an end to the age of the gods and began the age of men. And it's tough to figure out more than that, because they invoked so much of that theme in the Amarat stuff. So the issue there is the Sundering can't also be the first rejoining. Or yes, Astral is after Umbral. Sorry, I said it backwards. The issue is that, hold on, let me put it back together. The issue is that the Sundering can't also be the first rejoining, which seems kind of stupid. So you have an era of prehistory in between there. And then the first Umbral was supposed to be the disappearance of the gods, so there's an era of prehistory. Not first Astral, prehistory is what I call it. Allegedly. But we have learned that we can't count on very much when it comes to the deepest lore being accurate. Where's my PowerPoints when I need them? Is there anybody here who hasn't done MSQ? Like, I don't want to, like, talk MSQ outside of the MSQ stream if there's people who haven't done it. I don't see anybody rushing to say they haven't done it, so if we like lay out the timeline in that fashion, I think when we look at Sundering and then Unknown and then first Umbral era, first Astral era, second Umbral era, second Astral era, and the second is when Eorzea allegedly, you know, first finds their major religious roots. So it's a little ambiguous whenever we see stuff related to the 12 where it could be in that. But looking at the MSQ yesterday, I'm really wondering if our friend in the Void is supposed to reference that area of prehistory, because the Void probably was created during that time. And then, is that supposed to rhyme with this at all? Were they thinking about these things at the same time? The realm of the gods. Yeah, I think the PowerPoint and the MSQ confirmed yesterday that the 13th was definitely made before the first Umbral. Uh-oh. Hold mortals. Lenny, oh my god. What the? Oh, come on. All the primals say that true. I can't, or say that too. I can't just take your word for it. Oh, I don't like that line though. Good instincts, Moose. To the sanctum. Well, okay. Yeah, I'm with you, dude. This is weird. Hey, shout out to the Praetorium line. That's cool. Louisville actually also said that any attempt to reach the 12 would not end up with anything but primals. So, before I follow that, I'm gonna think about like all the things. Oh, nice. They actually put them in the proper elemental wheel order. Good job. But then we got, yeah, Birigo and Halone. Sweet. So this is already a little weird. I'm going through all the different theories that I've had about the 12 over the years because I've kind of adjusted them every patch. The predictions that I made, like the only ones that I really stuck to, is aside from more than whims, like things I was like, I'm gonna believe in this because it's fun and I'm just gonna hold on to that belief and never forsake it. They were Crystal Mom loves you, Heidelin is a snake, Gaius lives, and the 12 are real. And because of that, I came up with a different theory for what the gods were. Did I not say Elidibus is a snake? Did I say something else? Elidibus. Oh my god. My brain is burnt out today. I'm sorry. Freudian slip. No. Heidelin is a snake. Sorry. Elidibus is a snake. Christopher loves you. Gaius lives. The 12 are real. If you can't tell, I'm a little fuzzy today. So every couple patches I would be forced to update what I thought the 12 were. So far we've been through Heidelin's first attempt at creating like guidance for mortals, and that it went astray, and that's what created the first or the next calamity, and so she sent them away. And then there was their misremembered convocation members, and you play with the math until it works right. And then it was actually the first 12 people who ever saved the world from an umbral era, Heidelin's first group of chosen, and they've just been kind of misremembered and reincarnated. And then it was the first 12 actually reincarnated over and over again. And then it was Heidelin's summoners, that they all sacrificed themselves to her, and then she brought them back as kind of emanations when she needed them, reincarnations when she needed them. And then there was Azem brought back 11 friends to town to deal with the situation. And I never really settled on anything other than, like, I hope they're real. I just think it's more fun when there's something to believe in. But now that we're here, this is, like, super weird because what we're seeing doesn't fit in with any of that yet. This is way too literate. Like, this is accurate. Like, Eorzeans are never this accurate in the stuff that they, like, when stuff goes down into Eorzean legend, it's always warped in some way, it's always wrong in some way, and this is way too close to what they believe. I mean, Azima looks just like she does on the card for the Charlayan Balance, like the Astrologian card, and even that Azima looks suspiciously like Sophia, of all things. It's Sophia and her daughter. And it's just like, it's very weird for them to be like, with Heidelin out of the way. So, yeah, who the hell are these people? I do love that we have these gates. This is just cool. So does that mean we're actually, like, through the raid going to go from one gate into another gate? That's weird. There was some other thing I wanted to check in on, but like I said, my brain is fuzzy. I can barely even talk or remember right. So far, I'm like, I haven't even started the raid and I've said 2 things backwards. I would also, like, in my head, I'm flashing back to something Koji said on the forums once upon a time. I'm actually gonna look for that one since we're all sitting here, and great, more brightness, just what I need. Search. Burnholes. And then, what the search term should be. Okay, so back in the day when he posted this, this was not long after the original Hatching Tide stuff made it seem like the Circle of Knowing and the Charlayans might actually be reincarnations of the 12, because they reused that word Archon so many times. So it was something they were asking over and over and over again. Is there really a connection there? Is there really a connection there? And this post is from 2012, so we can rest assured that some of it is probably no longer accurate. So yeah, the original Hatching Tide lore actually made it sound like the Circle of Knowing was the 12. And they got asked about this a lot, and people tried to line them up. So like all the people trying to line up the Convocation in the 12, not even close to old school enough. We were like, yeah, Louisoise, Thaliac, and so, all right, this quote has stuck with me. More info about the gods of Eorzea and how both the 12 and the primals fit into the whole celestial scheme of things will be revealed in A Realm Reborn, but even then things will remain hazy. I mean, it's religion. It's hazy by design. In one age, a guy who single-handedly kills a microchew to save a girl is a good Samaritan. The story gets told by 1,000 different people, each time changing just a little, but each time becoming more epic. The microchew becomes an Ochew, the Ochew becomes 10 Ochews, the girl becomes a princess, and so on and so on. In the next age, he's a hero, in the next he's a saint, in the next he's a god, smiting Ochews with levin bolts from atop a snowy peak. And what are those people who possess magic or technology that's beyond the comprehension of the common folk? Would they not appear as gods? And what about those powerful entities who fancy themselves as gods and use people gullible enough to follow them to obtain what they desire, be it power or gold or whatever? And what of the actual gods, who normally don't give a hoot about the ants crawling around their realms but will intervene when it amuses them? Hopefully, the story of A Realm Reborn will categorize who falls into what slot. And that's one of the things that I've like always kept in the back of my mind as we play this game, is if that's like a good definition of how the team thinks about gods, then I'd love to try to figure out how to sort them into that camp. Because the 12, if they were really based on Greek, would probably fall into that last camp, like the real gods who don't give a crap about anything but their own affairs, which is how they were presented. Like, in the Deep 1.0 lore, Eorzeans, like in the book by Lufon, 233.6 Astral, Eorzeans believed that the gods were at war with one another, much like the city-states were at war with one another. Like, there was a pantheon with a history of alliances and fighting against each other and stuff like that. And that this all started over a spilled goblet of wine, and mankind was invented to fight their wars. Do we know what era the dragons arrived? All signs so far point to Midgardsrimmar arriving just after the Sundering on the Newborn World. So far. Okay, let's keep going. And yeah, I would love to figure out how to turn down these monitors, but they don't have a setting on them. I gotta figure that out. Domains in the Phantom Realm. Oh, and it's open. Am I going to be having people along for this? Yes, I can. I've got 3 others already. So, like, if people wanted to go, we could, like, put up a party finder or something. I don't know what I'm doing. Shiren's already inviting people. Okay, what I'm gonna try to do real quick is move my big bowl chair just a little bit further away. Like, how far can I get it? So I'm gonna mute myself for a second so you don't hear all the rattan creaking. That should do for now. I assume it's still going to be too bright during some of the raid itself. And then now I've got the hair spiders again, but we'll deal with the hair spiders for now. If anybody's wondering why I'm loopy, it's because I only got a couple hours of sleep before my phone went off because someone was trying to sell me solar panels. And then I decided I was going to do this and just stay up through Easter brunch tomorrow. And just kind of like sleep after that. Try to reset before work. And now I'm like low sleep and full of caffeine, so I'm a little scattered. No, I didn't get the solar panels. Actually, I didn't even listen to the guy. I wasn't like in my full mind yet. Like, I opened it and I opened my phone, I turned it on. I'm like, hello. And like you could hear this moment of silence and the guy's like, hello? I'm like, hello. And then he was like, and then launches into the professional voice. And he's like, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah from the blah, blah, blah. And I'd like to talk about, and I, like, not even thinking, no decorum whatsoever. I just went, and I hit the button and threw my phone on the floor. So, yeah, I imagine that made him feel great. Sorry, Greg. Oh, there's like a thing. Interesting. Yeah, even if you want to do like a party instead of an alliance, that's still cool. Like, do I even know enough people to fill an alliance? I'm skeptical. You would join, but you're not in the Discord? Oh, you are naive if you think I'm not just gonna go in blind and be horrible. No callouts. I will watch your video and learn properly after. Roggle's got my back, probably. I was hoping there'd be some, like, crazy deep lore hint in the symbols somewhere or something. Oh, I totally forgot. Someone asked what god I was. Does it still say on here? I need to make sure I didn't change it. Yes. From 1.0, I have been Naldal the Traitors. And I meant to change it at some point, but I couldn't do it for 2 reasons. Number one... So I was going to change it to something associated with scholars, and I was going to change it to something with, let's see, related to my job, related to the lore, maybe a Zima. I was going to change it to a million things, but then I decided, like, my my adventuring certificate from 1.0 says Naldal, and I got, you know, Naldal's ring, so it's like you can't really change it. So, like, and I'm not gonna lie, the only reason oh, hello. The only reason I changed it in the first place, or not changed it, the only reason I thought about it in the first place, like when I first did Naldal, was I was constantly anemic for Gil in 11, and I thought it would be very funny if I just picked the god of money so that I wouldn't be constantly broke. That was the only goal. How many of these are there? Has anybody done like a full count? I bet there's 12. Hello, Bunny. Hello, Bunny. So wait, Bunny near ice. Menfina? Moon Rabbit? And then is the Golem near Earth? So, let's see. Earth, Stone, 6 Umbral Men of Stone, like all thick, maybe? No. No. Maybe? Oh, time to raid. Nobody over here yet. Check up here. Wait a minute. Hold up. Okay. So we can see the dome in Mordona too. That's cool. Any landmarks on the other side? Hey, wait a minute. This thing on the side, isn't that shaped like the sensors from Old Oz incense thingies? Check on that later. Nothing in the bush, nothing in a tree. Ah. Limlane? Ooh, fishy fishy. What about you? Anything weird about you? Got my eye on you, bro. This is gonna be pandemonium all over again. I'm not gonna notice until the last raid something's just off about him. Alright. Full green motif. Lim lane's over there. Maybe. Might be one of the water deities. Yeah, because it's in front of the water. Balyak. Sure, fishy fishy. Derek is the real La Brea. This is one of those times where I would like go back and look up all of the text that's attributed to that NPC actor. But I should probably finish the raid first. That would probably be wise. Oh, here goes tower. Hey, just like the legend said. Cool. Yeah, the legend is like the, like what the heavens look like according to Charlayan legend. Like this is exactly the Heaven of Lightning and the Heaven of Fire, pretty much. Great music though.
So, you are resolved to face me.
Okay.
Come, children of man. Scatter! Bend the knee. Tremble before my divinity. Behold the virtuosity of the builder. To me, O hammer divine.
Oh. Scary. I am definitely gonna mess up something.
Searing light, fight my foe.
Ow.
It's too late to make mercy.
Oh no. What does this do? Beans.
Bend the knee.
Let's see if I learned anything from that.
To me, O hammer divine.
I'm going to guess here. I am mildly capable of learning. Unless... Oh. Close. Nothing of value was learned. Cost.
The builder has been made to yield. Intriguing. Then the destroyer shall take your measure. After you have provided my servant with some sport.
What the bird do? No. Yeah, see, the Scions are the 12. This one's a Stinian. Uh-oh.
Ahead stands a statue I have fashioned for our contest.
See, that line messes with me a little bit. He fashioned a statue that happens to look just like the statue we were expecting. But then are they appearing in the forms that are exactly what we were expecting, which would then negate any real clue that we could gain from their appearance. God damn it.
Come, show me the strength of that. Upon the ground you shall crawl. By my authority as the destroyer.
why I'm blue. Oh. Other than nothing.
Wandering star, descend and destroy.
Okay.
Keep a relevant distance.
Oh, wait, what? Again. We got like a line. That one's charging, this one's not. Okay. Okay, maybe it's just that easy.
Could you predict your own undoing? I'm super interested in that his staff does not have the symbol that Ramu is associated with on it, but the spire tower in the background does. Oh, I see. That's weird. Very weird. Bask in my blinding resplendence.
Everybody's running away instead of into this one. I guess I'll follow. What does that do? I picked the wrong finger. Killed by indecision, not even mechanics.
Come, mortals. Enter my realm, if you dare.
Love this. Love, love, love this. This is exciting. Eye motifs. Cool, cool.
You will be showered by the light of the sun. Crimson cloud, in fire woven. In your wake, leave naught uncleansed.
I'm a little sad that they didn't choose to do Azima last and make it a little awkward. Like, bring in more of the Azem stuff. Are we really not doing any of the Azem stuff? So, if Rhalgar knows enough to make the statue, and no one knows anything about Azem,
Or something more.
they can't copy the beliefs that they don't know anybody has, right?
Explosive finish! I'm quite warm to you. Let there be fire! Raging flames dance upon the wind. None can escape the inferno.
Wait, what? There we go. Oh, too late.
This will burn.
Okay, so bring the middles each time.
A gift of flame for our children.
At the same time, thank you for all of these gift subs. And also, we need to figure out more to do with these subs, so I don't feel bad that y'all are like giving out all these gift subs.
Explosive finish.
Gold, I highly recommend not challenging Lenny to any kind of duel. I have never won.
I'm quite warm to you. In your wake, leave naught uncleansed. Is it just a mirage? Or something more? Let there be fire!
I don't like this one, right? This one I don't like.
Raging flames dance upon the wind.
Ow, 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 ow. What is that? I don't like that. Ow, ow, ow.
This will burn. Ever shall the fires burn.
I am Null, keeper of the realm of the living.
I am Thor, keeper of the realm of the dead.
Where's Sandcred when you need him? Yo, this dude got a crown made of candles.
Prepare to be judged, children of man.
It's got like a butane headdress. There is still originality left in the world. Not even in the fight. Ow.
So bear witness to our might.
But will you be able to comprehend?
How come only Naldal is worthy of such a bot? I suppose if they... Indecision, don't kill me again. I suppose if Limlane and...
The flames of the abyss consume all.
No, I didn't catch the name of the attack. Did they call it Doll's Balls? Uh-oh.
Bitterest suffering awaits.
Oh. Oh yeah, it's dead.
From ashes you came, to ashes you will return.
It's still Doll's Balls in our heart.
Will you weather my trial?
We'll let that go off first.
We have only just begun. you defy our divine authority. Very well. Let us proceed to your judgment. We, the traders, shall weigh your soul!
I don't understand. I don't understand. Uh-oh. Why do I have a sword? It never happened. It's a lie.
Preserve the balance.
Um.
The moment of judgment is come.
I love going into an ultimate with no idea what's gonna happen and who's gonna survive. Okay, not dead. Taking it. I'll take it.
Well done! You are deserving of reward. As a show of esteem, we shall bring our all to bear. Tenacity is a sight to behold. Such vim and
I should
vigor.
have paid attention to what was going on with this one last time. Okay, there's number one. Many deaths, no wipes. Good job, everybody.
You have been found worthy.
Oh. Worthy of what, sir? Come back. Sir? Defending pants, aiming body, healing head. I'll take the head this week, I guess. I don't roll on anything for any jobs anymore. I retired from virtually everything. Okay. Exposition is in order. Uh-oh. No, I gotta stop that. Stop that. Thank you for the ball. Oh good, they're lying. All that time, like, going through the lore before the dungeon, like, oh, that doesn't fit with anything we know. And they're just like, we lied. Never spend too long speculating in this game. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I'm relieved. As I've said before during like the MSQ stuff, I have faith that the writers can make me like virtually anything these days. They seem to be really good at choosing what time to disappoint me and what time to validate me, and I think that's really cool. So I have no doubt that if the 12 sucked, that like I would have liked it in the end probably. I haven't hated anything. But this does fit a lot better with kind of the pieces that we've picked up along the way.
I don't have any illusions that the 12 are probably what they were imagined to be originally, because like these were they had huge plans for these guys in 2009, 2010, and they never came to fruition. Like they were supposed to be connected to the original 1.0 story before they threw that out. Kenichi Iwa was the original lore guy, and there was one interview where he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna learn all about the 12 soon. 12 gonna be a huge part of the story soon. That's why we're gonna have you choose your patron deity." 10 years later. Not summoned beings. That's what all primals say. Not us, but primals. Yes, that is true. Okay, accurate. At least they're not lying yet. Aside from, you know, that one big one they just admitted to. Thank you again. So the gods have hopes. They don't intend to take the world. Our ambitions will remain secret until 6.5. Wait a minute. How many minions were out there? Yeah, how many birds are in this zone? Or, birds. How many minions are in this zone? I found the fish, the rabbit, and the golem. Are there more? There's an owl? Okay. I was about to say, because that would mean I found an ice, an earth, a water, and that would be those. And then we just did these two, which would be only wind, and this dude's dressed in green. And if this dude's ocean, I'm gonna punch him right in the dick for being another one of the dudes playing games. Owl's near the water shrine. I'm gonna go take a look. Ice, wind. He's ocean and we all know it. Never anger Olala with a book. I'm at like perfect crotch hitting height with the spine. Alright. We got a owl over here too. Make you Thaliak, probably. So... Maya, Menfina, Altec. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Well, that would explain, like, why he discovered the Phantom Realm, I guess, to lure us in here and do this. For whatever their hopes are. That would seem a very godly thing to do. I think the golem does count. I think the golem is part of the Earth 6 Umbral legend. Baltic was where I was leaning on it. I'm curious if Nafika and Limlane are going to be the other two finals. And then we'll get cool, like, audio things for those, or cool vocal tracks for them too. Because then it would be the city-states. On. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next time we might be able to have Nafika's the cool vocal track. We'll do these 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then she can be the vocal track, and he can be like, aha, it was me. I was the rando all along. Me. I don't know. The math lines up. Oh, there's another quest. But can I just point out, as I already did on Twitter a while back, if we did 1, 2, 3, 4. That means we have, like, the Lover, Damimami the Fury, and Naviga's Bounty all in one raid. We are blessed. Like, trying to speak their names slowly because my mind is fuzzy and I know I'm gonna say some of them backwards. Spine Dilemma. It would be very Square Enix to set us up with very predictable math and then subvert it, yeah. We might suppose that they were created in antiquity in a manner similar to Heidelin, but there is no way to prove it. That kind of like wording is a very deliberate breadcrumb that Square Enix has used before. I hope they do this every time we do something he mentions. Just to annoy me. That was a joke we made a lot during the original MSQ stream. Was like Yoshida in a meeting, like, how do we get people to believe that there's just so much left to explore, so much left to do? How do we get people to believe that there's a lot left? We'll get Emmett Selk to tell them. They'll listen to Emmett Selk. I hope it's like 8.0 and we finally get to the golden cities of the new world and someone goes, wow, the golden cities of the new world, and that same freaking image of Emmett Silk pops up. Though I am shocked, if Hades made the Azem stone in secret, then like it would all be his memories, right? So I was really hoping that it would be kind of like a Sith holocron, and I would be stuck listening to his memories pouring out of that thing for years. Just like really give that voice actor some mulmage, just like have him annoying me from inside the stones. But apparently not. Yeah, but since the stones are memories, we could use the echo. We could go into the memories and be stuck listening to him lecture us. As much as I loved him as an antagonist, did not want him to be a good guy, was excited to see him kind of admitting the role he played and everything, I still do love the character. Not in the same way as a lot of other people do, so like I'm looking forward to him annoying me. Like I'm looking forward to his presence annoying me. I'm looking forward to them referencing him annoying me. I loved the final boss music. That was a bop. But let's be real, like, Soken never disappoints. Soken is our true rock star of light. And I make this joke a lot when it comes to Soken's music, but like, I feel like we constantly need to take a moment to step back and appreciate that Soken has gone from, in his career, what the hell, this isn't Nobuo Uematsu, to, wow, I think he could be the next Nobuo Uematsu, to, do we really need to compare every musician to Nobuo Uematsu? That is a career achievement right there. What is this? Hold on. Fifth Astral Era references. Oh, good. A pilgrimage to all the regions of Eorzea to see how they worship the 12. That should waste some filler. He's gonna try to marry me, isn't he? This is a Sanctum of the 12 pilgrimage in disguise. See what you're doing, boy. Come on to you, Graha. This is not what I meant when I called you Trust Husbando. Bugger's Reach. Someone wrote a comic about how he's accidentally proposed to the Warrior of Light multiple times. I would like to see that. Looking up the arrow here, because like the spire was dead on. Those legs aren't bare. There's some bare legs in the thing, but the colors are right. Green, yellow. The hair's not quite bright enough, but... still suspicious. We'll see what he looks like out of his mortal disguise. I love how we've just all agreed that he's Ocean. We're not even questioning it. That's gonna be my point counterpoint, is he doesn't look entirely like you would expect based on the arrow, but the versions of what we saw in the raid were not disguises, they were the actual gods, so he could just not be in your form and look just like that. One thing I'm noticing right now is that they've actually done a really good job pacing their breadcrumbs this time. Like, compared to some of the other raids where we're like, oh, okay, that's the story, that's the setup, we'll see. This is very like, ooh, I want to know more, let's think about this, let's think about this. They've paced the revelations really, really well in this to kind of hook interest and make people excited for what's next. Evilise, I want to know less for the love of God. There's a certain thing that I just, when it comes to Evilise, Yasumi Matsuno is the reason I'm a Final Fantasy fan, and not a guy who played and liked Final Fantasy X and to this day still calls it Final Fantasy X. The fact that I played Tactics in 12 right after that, next, that's what turned me into a fan. And the more that I play the other games and the classic games, the more I see how Matsuno was able to take the existing formula and turn it on its head and get away with it. And that's just a rare talent to begin with. And then you come to today where everybody, like, on even the 14 team kind of worships him for Tactics Ogre and what he's brought to the tactics genre and everything. Even as a lore purist, my stance on Yasumi Matsuno is always, break whatever you want, sir. We'll clean it up, sir. So I am willing to let Evilise get away with, like, virtually anything. Even Yoshida, there was a joke Yoshida made during one of the interviews. Yoshida had said straight up in 2.0, like, 14 isn't connected to any other worlds, there's no canon connection to any other worlds, it will never be not isolated. And that there may be, like, hints that there's, like, kind of pseudo-canon connections, like, fun connections for crossover events, but really it's isolated, and he wanted to stick to that. And when the Evilise stuff started, I asked him if that was still true, and he just goes, I mean, my position hasn't changed, but, you know, Yasumi Matsuno is a god, and if God says they're connected, man, they're connected. So apparently even Yoshida's willing to let him do whatever he wants. Which is a hell of a concession for me, because I know Matsuno-san is a guy who's, like, very broad strokes, big picture, grand vision, and when it comes to detail stuff, he can knock over some vases, is how I like to put it. He can make a little bit of a mess to clean up later, and yet I'm, like, willing to let him. I love his stuff. I loved Bozja, too. I'm so mad we're not getting, like, the sequel to Zadnor, Evilise 3. Yeah, Vagrant Story, too. And there were connections to all of them, kind of in the way that he smashed everything. The way that Matsuno approached that was he smashed all of the Evilise Alliance and just put all the pieces together on the map for 14 and inverted the timeline. And, like, the way he described it was he wanted it to be Garlemald's King Arthur, that it was, like, part myth, part legend, part history, part religion. And I loved it in a very weird way. Like, I was, again, willing to let him get away with breaking whatever he wanted just because he usually makes it worth it. He pays the tax. And I was so convinced that the field notes in Zadnor were preparing us for taking some time off to save the world and do Endwalker and wrap up everything, and then we'd come back to that story. And we would see, like, Ash reclaim Dalmasca and lay siege to Leamond, and then suddenly totally not dead Gabranth would come out of nowhere and try to rebuild his homeland, and there'd be this huge war going on, and we would actually like see the second rise of Dalmasca as one unified nation. And it looks like I may never get it. I'm hoping what he meant by that was, like, not during Shadowbringers, and that maybe not during Endwalker, but someday. I think they could do a lot with it. Even if him showing up made me very nervous, and he does bump into some stuff along the way, like, he makes it worth it. I'd like to see him do another one. The Mungo Taku. Yes, we did the 6.1 MSQ last night, and there was like a choice between do this next Friday or do it today, and everybody was like, today! The safekeeping of Professor Eric, no! Don't make me talk to him. The one thing that, like, cracks me up about all of the cutscenes Matsuno-san writes is that, like, all of the major writers in 14 kind of know where all of the NPCs are coming from and going to. So you'll be having a conversation, and an NPC walks in, and you see them walk into the room, and they're like, hey, I'm coming in from blah, blah, blah. I was doing blah, blah, blah. And then they talk to you for a few minutes, and they're like, well, I've got to go to blah, 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 and they leave, right? And in a lot of Matsuno's cutscenes, you have no idea who's in the room. They're just teleporting in, teleporting out. They're just there when they need to talk, and then they're gone. Graha downloading another book into his photographic memory. Thank you, Doso. I feel like I'm getting old. Like, I really gotta squint to see these names. I'm gonna misread some of them. Cool, so we're gonna have him spying on us the whole time. That's way better. Oh, I can. Oh, hey, we know 2 more of their forms. We thus disguise ourselves when we wish to observe the world without being seen. Our true forms. Uh-huh. Violate the laws of conduct. Such by whom? Similarly, disguise our sanctums. Do you really think that they would like go the route of doing the auspice thing again? Like this looks like it's backwards. I don't know. They don't read Shred Ground very often, but they do like tying things together a lot. Yeah. So it's hard to tell if it's like trying to hark back to auspice lore or just like really leaning into the Greek stuff. Let's see if we see a swan. Or a goose. Auspices didn't have that weird glow. There you go. Confirmed. Okay, so I like where we're at now. They're watching us, they're spying on us, they've always been here, they're playful, they have good intentions. They're aware of Heidelin's presence or absence, they're familiar with her. But if they're familiar with her, I wonder why they haven't mentioned Zodiark at all yet, too. I thought it would be cool if the sanctums were tied to the swords that were like impaled on the moon somehow, and that you could like kind of tie it all together. Why now? I was talking about the Ramu Ralgar thing yesterday. This is a bit of a departure from my theories as per usual. Carne. The Lucavi, we've been joking around. We had black auracite, which was like pure energy, and white auracite, which was like pure vacuum. And we've been joking around that the Lucavi were gray auracite, where it pulls in the ether and super generates it and then expels it as something else. That was like in line with the hopes and visions of the holder. That's our best theory so far. And like, the funny part was, as we were having this conversation, as soon as we all agreed gray auracite was like the best term, we immediately stopped to reflect on how much we all hated it. It explains everything. We hate it. Red auracite. Just want to rewind to something you said at the start of the screen about a mirage of Sildit. Based on what you said, it kind of sounds like that could very well have been people glimpsing into the heaven of fire. I would love if they connected it with that after all those years. That's one of those, like, deep retcons they pull out of their ass that's just, like, so well scored into the oldest lore that you just, like, super angry and impressed at the same time. It was never Sildit at all. It was the heaven of fire. The Mirage of Sildid, the original one, was 1.0 minor quests, I believe. I think. I know the twins were there, and you go after their sister, and she's like staring off into the clouds in the distance, and you can totally see the illusion in the distance, too. And the buildings had scales on them. Yes, I like how you think. If this isn't canon, we gonna make it canon. We'll just word it that way on an interview. We'll ask for confirm, deny in such a way that they have no choice but to be like, yeah, you figured it out. You're so smart. Yep, they were in Thanalan. They glimpsed the heaven of fire. And that's why everything is scale. Actually, that Mirage was Ultima into Telephone. Look at your map. Just use the Ethernet. It's got a map right there now. You can see the quest things on it. No need for extra buttons. Stop using the extra buttons. Okay, I did it mostly. I closed one extra menu, but I'm getting closer to being able to do that without like automatically going through 5 steps like it's still 2.3. Yeah, game, my old friend. I love how I stopped to look up at the statue, even though the scene is totally going to do it. There it is. At least they didn't connect Nald Dal to Emmett Selk yet. That makes me happy. One little concession. That's all I wanted. What job did you main back in 1.0? Let's see. I was originally a paladin in 11, so I came over thinking I was going to be an Elysian paladin again, and I didn't enjoy anything I was doing, especially because you had to manually raise your shield. So I threw out that character, I threw out that job, I threw out everything I was doing, and I was like, I am going to be a purple-haired toddler mage. And I tried so hard to be a thaumaturge. So hard. Every turn in the game, I tried to be a thaumaturge. Regardless of, like, whether it was a healer or an attacker or what. And, like, the world just didn't want to let me do it. I ended up becoming... Because I was thaumaturge, I was healing most of the time, because healing worked different back then. And that made me the only healer that was with the group, so I, like, usually had to go white mage, which meant for most of the meaningful parts of 1.0, I was a white mage instead of a black mage, despite really wanting to stay thaumaturge. And my rebellion was when 2.0 started, I only played alchemist, so I could be the ranged mage DPS and the healer. And then I just never switched off a scholar again. When I look back in my memory, I would say thaumaturge was my intended main. And I deeply, deeply miss the 1.0 thaumaturge lore. It was so freaking cool. Yes, actually my first 50 was Fisher. Because they planned how Fisher worked very poorly, and there was this beautiful exploit, and I exploited that all the way to 50, and that was the first one I ever hit. Okay, the original thaumaturge lore. Oh, it's hard to explain. So back then, the polarities were a very huge part of the lore. Astral and Umbral, and they were associated with light and death just like Nald and Thal were. And the way that the thaumaturge lore worked was that in order to gain true power, you needed to understand all facets of life. So you had the ossuary and the... Why can't I remember the S word? Sacrarium? I don't remember it right now. You've got the Nald... Sacrarium! And one was like life and the rich people, and one was death and the poor people and the funerals and all that kind of stuff. And the Thaumaturge Guild was in the place with the funerals. So you spent more time with kind of the poor people and the funerals and all that kind of stuff, while the rich people hung out at the one where it was like mostly about life and stuff like that. And so as being part of the Thal side of things, you were caught up in carrying out like death contracts. People would put these special contracts on themselves where if they died because of something, the thaumaturges would go out and kill that thing in vengeance for them. So the vengeance contracts were awesome. I missed that. But the idea was that in order to fully understand the world, you had to embrace the dark side of it that most people deny. You couldn't only accept the good things life had to offer. You had to know sin. You had to acknowledge your sin and feel the guilt that comes with sin, so that you could understand enough of the world to peer beyond the realm of Nald into the realm of Thal and gain true power. And there was this whole line of logic about like how knowledge, virtue, wealth, power are all connected. Which is why if you go out and look at the fountains outside of the Sacrarium, it says virtue is the color of gold. And that's what they mean in the old thaumaturge lore, because if you're collecting knowledge and wielding knowledge properly, it increases your virtue in the eyes of Nald Thal, and therefore will increase your wealth, which is why the religion in Ul'dah is so corrupt, because you can fake virtue by collecting ill-gotten wealth, but it doesn't count because it's ill-gotten. You're not feeling the weight of your sin, and therefore you're not experiencing the guilt that would lead you to know the world of Nald enough to look into the realm of Thal and gain true knowledge. And it's just like they haven't touched on that since Black Mage showed up. And I love that old thaumaturge lore, and we're never gonna see it again. So yeah, that was a rant and a half, sorry. Actually, yeah, I would love to go back and look at the lyrics later and see if they tie into that at all. Because if there's one thing you can say about this team, they have not been shying away from going back and looking at all the old stuff when making new stuff. They have been doing their research. So those lyrics, like that knowledge may help us with those lyrics a little bit. Maybe. I'll be optimistic. There's a super cool unreleased thaumaturge quest where you were supposed to go out and clean the temples that are like out in Thanalan, where they have them like Null's Respite, Thal's Refuge, or the other way around, I don't remember. But you were going to go to the Thal one. And the way the guilds saw it was either you were going to have a mystical experience there and you were going to progress in your training, or you weren't and you were just going to clean their temple and hey, they got a free temple. So you're out there cleaning and you start kind of hallucinating these voices. And you slowly realize that what's going on is you're connecting to the thaumaturge wisdom and virtue and looking beyond the realm of Nald. And what you're hearing is all of the true thoughts of the people of Ul'dah. And they're like wishing ill on people and cursing people and invoking Thal's name to kind of do harm to others, because secretly deep down these good people really want like selfish self-benefit and to hurt others and for things to work out for them. And when you get back and you tell that to the people who are running the guild, they're like, see, they're much worse than you. So when they're looking down on you because you hang out in the place that's like death and void and all this other stuff, fuck them. Fuck them. They're horrible people and they're hiding it. You're real. Like, do you. Love that. I don't know. I'm very nostalgic about old thaumaturge. And I wish they like leaned into it a little harder in A Realm Reborn, because I think they do have that like people look down on thaumaturges thing, and the fact that it was not legit was cool. I think it should go back to that. Was Mumuepo being bad part of the quests too? No, not necessarily. Like, it was clear that he was corrupt, but it wasn't seen as like this horrible thing yet. It was... If they were going to explore it, they didn't. But it was very clear that he was corrupt, and the Coco brothers weren't quite there yet. Like that, they explained away that transition in one of the short stories, the Tales from the Calamity. I do love that they like arrested Mumuepo and threw him in Halatali though. Yeah, and then you have to beat him up. Yeah, the Lalafell boss in Halatali, he's the old guild master of the Thaumaturge Guild. He was like super corrupt. And he is in the story, the Sultana's 7. He was actually part of the Neil Frayne story. If you do the Alchemist quests, Flamine and Neil Frayne, their relationship. the dagger that Neil Frayne used to try to bring Minfilia's dad back from the dead. He got it from, they were working with Mumuepo and the Goldsmiths Guild, and Lola Rita was involved. It was this whole big conspiracy. And if there are ever like more questions or lines you'd like me to translate and see kind of if I can get closer to the truth or anything like that, let me know in the Discord. I will usually just do it right in the DM, but sometimes it'll spill over into an impromptu campfire. Naldal is my patron, but it was an accident. I am not above admitting that I chose Naldal as my patron in 1.0 specifically because I was broke as fuck in 11 and I decided it would be cool to be like to have the god of money on my side. Later, Thal. Wait, why am I running over here? I could just telly. Yes, if the auspice connection is legit, you can totally rub it in my face. Wouldn't be the first time, bro. I have not flown in this area enough times. Now, I assume we're not doing the full pilgrimage right now, right? We're only going to do the two ones we did? The origin of the races would be something that's really fun to get into, and I feel like hesitant about it sometimes because it feels like one of the things that if we ever went back for, they would retcon the shit out of. Especially because like they made it seem like a lot of the clans for the races were recent, like 500 years recent, and then they went back on some of them, like the Highlanders. 5th Umbrella era. I'm actually going to take a quick BRB to get a drink. If you have not hydrated lately, please stretch, please hydrate. I will be back in like 1-2 minutes. Okay. Backish. Ish. I'm catching up on all the chat here. Don't know if Lenny is still here to yell at me about. Oh, she came back just now, just as I'm opening the tea. Uh-oh. Lenny's been yelling at me to like drink real hydration, and it's just tea time. Okay, catching up on the chat here. Yeah, if they explain the races in the wrong way, it's gonna be a little awkward. So it's sometimes vague is nice. The way I've been choosing to think about it. Thanks, Gold. The way I've been choosing to think about it is that the races are a little more prone to like faster evolution, faster adaptation than we would expect from the real world. And that's where kind of the races and clans come from in 14, is that like within a few thousand years, they can diverge a lot more from each other than you would expect in the real world. And I'm just going to choose to believe that for now. But, you know, baseless. Alcons did it. Yep, our 5 A's. Was it Alagons, Ancients, Asians, Aether, and Akasha? One of them's to blame. I'm like gonna do the lore run. I'm actually gonna like run around and look for the thing that's lost, as opposed to what I usually do, which is get on my mount, fly up 12 feet, and look for the sparkly. Even an inscrutable optimist would feel compelled to say that this water skin is nearly empty. God, I love flavor text. Wow, we have proof in the wild that these nerds really do love Archon love. Later, Jay. Thanks for dropping in. Snowgame? Mythologist. My reactions of the presence of Silvertear Lake are, is that the presence of Silvertear Lake? Like, is this what we're going with? Are we gonna, like, not do anything else? I would be cool with it being the 12, I would. Though, that would, like, push some of the burden off. Because I know, like, the one thing that we know is there was gonna be a cool boss. Where's the cool boss? Maybe they are. Maybe they're, like, deceiving us with the math again. And it looks like there's going to be 12 bosses in 3 raids. And really, we're going to double up somehow, or do one in another way somehow. And we'll get the cool boss in another form. You know what? Just make it the Black Warden. The Keeper of the Hells. The heavens and the hells are connected, right? Like, take the presence of Silvertear Lake with the cool art, make that the Black Warden, send him after us. We could do this. Yeah, first Umbral, Black Warden. I think, like, even if we didn't, even if we wasted, like, all of this on the 12, I think we could turn Golbez into the Black Warden and get away with it. 7 heavens and 7 hells. Not 6, because that sounded dumb in testing. One thing I want to go back for, there was a lore panel where Koji was talking about, like, the origin of 6 hells versus 7 hells and how, like, 7 just sounded better, so they didn't do 6 even though everything was 6 and 12 at first. And the way he explained it, like, there was 6 hells and, like, a angry picture of Stallman, and then 7 hells and a really happy picture of Stallman with, like, his gun out. I need to check the date that came out and then compare that to the date of the Drake meme, because I think Koji may have anticipated the Drake meme. But my sense of time has not been great since the pandemic, which started 3 weeks and also 70 years ago. March 776, 2020. Yeah, exactly. Oh, please tell me they were watching. Ah, we're not gonna know. Dang. Okay, back to the zone that eats my face. Maybe, like, go all the way back to Mordona. I told you that was an Aetheryte. Attune to it, man. Follows. I know it's probably oomph, but I'm gonna call it oomph. This appears to be the seventh heaven. That would make sense. Why has no one mentioned the hells yet? Silly moose. Heaven is real, but hell isn't. Is that gonna be our new thing? Like the Warden? We believe in the Warden now? That one mention from 1.0? Black Warden's real? We're gonna go for it? Black Warden is our new Gaius. We can manifest this. The Pandemonium Warden. The one thing I really love about this explanation about like the glimpses into the Phantom Realm from the people or from the places that are associated with the 12 that are closest to their heavens, it at last explains why just being geographically in Eorzea makes you so much more likely to believe in the 12 and everywhere else hasn't heard of them. That is a great way to clean that up, because that was just like a weird question. How can you have one continent where over and over and over and over again people come to the same conclusions about who the gods are, but nowhere else in the world do you have that happening? Believe it or not, Gaius actually does know a lot about Eorzean mythology compared to like most common Eorzean farmers. Gaius did a lot of research on it as part of his invasion plan. I mean, he knew enough about Alamigo to get it to overthrow itself. So he really wanted to learn more about the lands he was conquering. And the fact that he did that is what led him to know that Mordona was such a special place and that there was such a power there that he should try to take it, leading to the Battle of Silvertear Skies. He knew that the Eorzeans considered Mordona to be the center of the world's ethereal network, and he was kind of going off of those legends, but he did not expect the Midgardsormr legend to be real. So in a strange way, yeah, Gaius is pretty well informed compared to a lot of Eorzeans. Same with Darnus and his Alog research. I would say Darnus was one of the foremost researchers of Alog compared to a lot of people. Yeah, Gaius, the dude in the chicken suit. Good question. If that's the seventh, what lies beyond that last thing? And there's a magic hidden in it. All right, you remember when I was talking during the main scenario quests about that cool piece of concept art on the wall with the crystal cave, the 1.0 crystal cave in Mordona? I think they should tie it to this. That the crystal cave was originally a connection from how you got from ground to sky into the realm of the gods for those who were like chosen there, that there was some kind of connection between the two. And that this crystal in the center was connected to the main crystal in the crystal cave with like the keyhole in it years and years and years ago, and that they only buried Zande there because they knew it was like a divine place associated with the gods, and that he would be able to like be deified or returned somehow if they buried him there. Sudden cut from music. Oh. I'm expecting like some kind of ominous stinger, but cool, we're just going out for lunch. It's weird, but I love that we've started doing going out for lunch scenes where we chat with everybody before and after stuff. Isn't fitting, it's destiny! I like this chick. Having always traveled alone. Mondi you. Maybe Ocean wiped his own memories. Yeah. Bring back the flying space clocks. Yeah, what if the Oppo Oppo is Ocean and it just picked out his outfit? Like, he just trusts the Oppo Oppo judgment. Oh, but then by our chat's own logic, the Oppo Oppo doesn't have the aura, the sparkly aura. Oh yeah, this doesn't look foreshadowing at all. And then, of course, things need to end where they will begin. Unless... while we await developments. Yes. We did it! We have completed our objective for the day. Awaiting development hours. Okay, are there any lingering questions or things we said we would do that we did not? Oh, I can also go back to the unfollows. We can do that while we consider any final questions. I don't actually have a great memory of where that was. Right here. You can kind of see it on the map. There you go. Mordona was supposed to be like the core of the whole game, and I've been waiting to get back there for a long, long time. Like, the first scene we ever see is Mordona, before it was a crystalline wasteland. Like, that big forest in the 1.0 cinematic, that was Mordona before all of this. Suspect they are vessels for the gods. They flee when I attempt to go near. Okay. So we got a Spriggy. How far away from the lightning thing does the Falcon get? Not far. Okay, so cool. We don't have to worry about anybody being, like, weirdly far from their thing. Yeah, I was actually, like, I was thinking about that myself, because we've got a fish and Limlane, which would probably fit, but Wind is on the other side. Like, that was my first instinct to think Limlane, because she even has, like, a fish body on the statues, but it's so far from the sanctum, and they are all sticking near their sanctums. So I feel like this just has to be Nemea. And then, wasn't the... Where was the owl? It was around here somewhere. I already forgot where the owl is. I walked past it. Freaking 4K, man.
next to the water. I was literally right next to it. Whatever, it's here. I don't care. Meh. It blends in with the road. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, there you go. Dude, freaking 4K. Gonna be the death of me. Okay. So yeah, they don't go too far. So I think this might be Thaliak. I think this might be Nemea. And then we got our two friendos in the fire or the lightning realm. Still nobody hanging out up here, I don't think. Fire friendos didn't come out. And then wind friendos didn't come out because they're over there, I guess. But we got our golem friend, who I think is Althic. Got our earth buddy. And then of course there might be someone else that I'm missing because they're too tiny. Hey. This isn't a minion, I don't think. What is this? Surely not Halone. And then Moon Bunny. Pretty sure this is the Moon Bunny. Yeah, I'm not gonna count the butterflies. Which the 12 hate each other again? I don't know, it kind of depends on the day if you believe the whole story. Most of them are parents, siblings, teachers. The butterflies represent the villain. Yeah, this seventh heaven thing. You know, if this is where the heavens are and the gods can see it, they must think the astrologians are fucking dumb. They must really like watching them. Staring up at the constellations. I kind of hope they like touch on that somewhere in here. Let's like compare the sanctums and where they are and what they are to where the constellations go. The 12 do have sort of like rivalries. They do fight a lot. They even like go to war a lot according to some of their legends. They're just like the Greek gods. They have their own petty dramas. It was supposed to kind of reflect the humanity of the city-states too, because like the city-states themselves have a history of going to war against each other. Okay, I think we did it. I think it is time to let you fine folks go for the night, assuming there is not any unfinished business that we must attend to. First things first, thank you so much to Gold Stars and Lenny for going crazy with the gift subs here. Assumed lyrics. I think they said they said we're gonna get the official ones, and I would really like to wait for the official ones, because the ones where we go by ear, they have a habit of being very hit and miss, and I don't want to get tricked.
I have been fooled before. I like go back and watch some of the YouTube videos for the lyrics to what's a good one? Equilibrium. Equilibrium fooled us all. Any significance to the naming scheme of the raid? Yes. I don't think it's a coincidence that they pick something that comes in a trio. I don't know if it's gonna matter all that much in the end, but I mean, Pandemonium's doing the same thing, so we're gonna have 3 tiers of heavens and 3 tiers of hells in a way. And I like that narrative symmetry, but I don't know if it's actually gonna be explicitly part of what's going on. So I don't know what the 3 graces we're gonna do here. It could be everything, it could be nothing. Yeah, Pandemonium is the hells. And I hate that it could all connect back to that. It could all connect to the Ancients thing, because let's not forget, we have never seen those swirlies, these swirlies here. We have never seen them anywhere that didn't have some kind of loose connection to Amarat. And that's killing me. Just those little swirlies at that angle. Yeah, and Pandemonium has wardens. So, but then how do we connect Golbez to it? I don't know. They'll do something cool. We'll have to see where that leads, though. We got that. And we got that. And we've also got, we could do the Fiends as the Trials. And then we have kind of everything worked out in a very... If we played our cards right, this could be close enough to an Eorzea 2 expansion. We'll see. But... it's just the way that these spin and point, that particular angle, that's just always been a dead giveaway for stuff connected to the Ancients. Be nice to be wrong, but yeah, and Corvos is the relic zone. All right, thank you so much for the gift subs and the follows and the cheers and all the wonderful things we did today. But most of all, again, thank you for the company. The company is always the best part. Pray that we can get more of this in. I thought for sure we were going to get more of it in after 0.0. Maybe 0.1 is the turning point. And I will also make a true concerted effort to make those YouTube videos public. I apologize for that. Hopefully this will give me the rush I need to move away from the paperwork a bit, like not make it my every moment of every day stressing about it for no reason. But yes, let's see if we can get some more to do. We'll try to keep the momentum a little better this time. Until next time, everybody. Crystal Mom and I love you.